My name is Laura Weir. My job is the Head of Human Resources here at Jagex. It's a really busy team, the HR team. From a recruitment perspective, we get around 100 applications a day in the careers inbox. Then obviously we've got our own staff internally as well that we're looking after every single day, looking at training and development opportunities. It can also stem right down to a staff member coming to speak to me about some concern they might have with their job role, or even through to kind of paternity leave. So it's a massively varied job role. I was brought up in a pub. So my mum and dad were landlords and landladies for many years. My mother now works in a college and she's in student services, so very much customer facing. My dad now works for an organisation in the warehouse in distribution. So we've always had really quite customer facing job roles. I was always very lucky with my parents that they never really gave me any sort of steer, to be honest with you. I feel that I've very much got into this profession through trial and error. When I was back at school, I had lots of different ideas as to where I'd want to be, and I don't think working in a games company as the head of human resources ever came into that, to be honest with you. The first time I understood that I would like to get into something like human resources was probably when I started studying psychology, and I did that at GCSE, then went on to do A-level, then went on to university and studied business psychology. So at that point, I really enjoyed that side of things, so what makes organisations work in terms of people. The biggest turning point for me really was before I started working, and that was taking the decision to go out to America on my own, travelling. It gave me the confidence that I can choose to do whatever I want to do, and actually taking a risk always pays off. When I came back, I got into sales, and unbelievably it was selling Nestlé chocolates off the back of a van into corner shops. Very character building though. You learn some people skills pretty quickly getting into those sorts of situations. A friend who I knew gave me a temporary job role as an administrator on a workforce development team for a business link. It was a great feeling, something that absolutely clicked. All of a sudden I remembered why I enjoyed studying psychology so much. I remembered why I enjoyed business psychology so much, and straight away I could just start applying this knowledge I had into a job role, and it was really about helping people. Although looking back I hopped around a few jobs in my earlier years in my career, that really paid off because I managed to find the right job for me, and it really was through experimenting that I achieved that. And I'm really glad I did an experiment and took the risks and was confident enough to try other things out. In my social life, I like to remain active, so I do quite a lot of sport and exercise. I also really enjoy travelling. I like to get off the beaten track, somewhere where the menus aren't in English, for instance. If the menu's in English, I find I'm in too much of a tourist area, so that's really what I like to do in my own social time. This book is really important to me. It's Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It guides you in terms of your work life and your personal life. I always try to pass that down to other individuals that I work with. A really great manager I had in the past did exactly the same with me when I was part of that team, and I had some real light bulb moments from it in terms of just how to conduct yourself, how to kind of be the best person you can be in your own personal life and also at work as well. When I joined an organisation about 5 years ago, I was incredibly lucky to be managed by a really charismatic lady, very powerful lady, but also had the balance of being personable. I found that very inspirational, and I still kind of look back to that as a bit of a benchmark for how I try to act and how I want to be as an individual going forward.